We got the wave. I know my feet is choppy, but I'm working on it. Bear with me. And with that being said, hey, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of your favorite sports podcast, none other than the Sports Bros podcast. Hey, big thanks for hanging out with us. If you're enjoying the show, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Maybe drop a quick rating as well too. We love to hear from you. And just hit us up on all of our social medias, and you can find that in the chat box or on our description box. So with that being said, let's get into it. I go by the name of Eddie Cool, aka the HOC, here at the Sports Bros Podcast. And I have two of the best co-hosts in the world because I've tried this before. It's not as fun. You ever try to argue with yourself? Nah, ain't no fun whatsoever. No fun, no fun. People think you're crazy. You're local like a Pepsi. You're nothing in the brain. With that being said, introducing first on a rare day off, ladies and gentlemen, he is the pride of Washington, Pennsylvania. None other than the one, the only, the money man, Scotty D.
I get top billing today, evidently. It's we going out of order. Batting out of order. That's an out in baseball.
Right. You know what? So how about this? We're gonna try this again. Introducing first. See what happened when you used to doing something on Monday. And you do it on Tuesday. See, you know what? That's what the holidays does. The holidays, they throw everything off. To the listeners and viewers, I promise I'm sober. Just a little tired, but I'm sober. Other than that, introducing first, manning the controls, the stations down there in Fayetteville, North Carolina. He is the one, the only, the almighty be like.
What's happening? What's going on in the world today?
See, there you go. There you go.
Oh, Lord. It's the most wonderful time. That's what I'm supposed to do.
You supposed to sing, and he's supposed to.
Right. If we just in living in Narnia, but yes. What's happening? What's going on in the world today? Episode 298. And you know what? I'm going to keep it short, sweet, and simple because we got a lot of basketball that we're going to talk about. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. The streak is over. Thank God the streak is over. After 15 straight games, 19 years of losing in the Eastern Conference Finals, my Carolina Hurricanes stave off elimination, winning 3-0 against the Florida Panthers. And Pittsburgh, the Penguins are still not in the playoffs, so there's no we in this. We means me and Eddie. You is Scotty D. And go ahead and introduce him and his Penguins not being in the NHL playoffs since he wanted to butt in and take over and do what he wanted to do. No, your team is not in it, sir, at all.
Shout out to
we just beat Florida.
No, you did not.
Our team just beat Florida.
No. Your team did not.
Facebook, what's up? Facebook Live, what's up? And the YouTube Live, what's up as well, too. Drop something in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. If you want to chime in, just go ahead and chime in. And with that being said, he is the other guy. He is the pride of Washington, Pennsylvania, enjoying a rare day off. I got it right that time. He's the one, the only, the money man, Scotty D.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Oh, boy.
And I feel fine. I actually did work today, though. I worked this morning.
You did? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we at Trinity High School, we have 2 weeks remaining this week and then next week. And then graduation is on June the 6th. And then on June the 7th, get this.
What's up?
Class reunion for yours truly.
Ooh.
Want to take a guess as to what year this class reunion is?
It's the 35th anniversary.
It is 35.
God, hoo-wee.
Man, I'm getting old, guys. 35.
Were your books even in color?
Actually, I don't know that they were. They probably were all black and white, but
I can tell you that my 8th grade yearbook was the first one in color, but before my middle school yearbook, ours was the first one in color. So this was back in 93, 94, 95, 95, 95. See, I don't forgot when I went to middle school. It's been a long time, but yeah, you're a little ahead of the
Yeah,
game there.
I think our books, my books in school was very similar to this podcast in black and white.
Wow.
I so didn't expect that to.
Did not, yeah. I mean, that's our DEI practices at work, baby.
Oh man, you guys are wild, man. Happy to have all of y'all here. Both of you here, my co-hosts, two of the best co-hosts in the world. I feel like a quarterback. I feel like I got Dwight Clark over here and Keith Jackson over here. You know what I'm saying? Like I got two wide receivers slash tight ends over here, and I'm just throwing the ball. Throwing the ball. Just I've been watching like the NFL throwback, so I've been watching a lot of stuff. So with that being said,
Yeah,
we gotta
Dwight
talk.
Clark. Dwight
Yeah,
Clark.
man, Dwight Clark.
That's who you come up with? Dwight
Yeah,
Clark?
I mean, you got short hair. You want to be Jason Witten? Do you want to be Jason Witten?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there we go. We got Jason Witten and kid. We got
Okay.
Jason Witten and Antonio Gates. All right, if we're gonna do it like that,
go.
okay. Here we go. It's time for me to shut the hell up, y'all. We're gonna talk about some NBA basketball, but first we're gonna hit the intro. Let's go ahead and hop right into it. The top of the order. Look, Scotty D, we got graphics.
Here it is, the top of the order.
And as I stated before, the little brief intro, NBA basketball, the finals, not the NBA finals, but the Western Conference finals and the Eastern Conference finals. We got one team on the verge, one game away from going to the finals, and another team, we don't know what's going on. Hopefully, if they can claw back into this thing here first. All right, fellas, so let's go ahead and talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder. All right. The Thunder are up 3-1. They ain't playing no games. They won Sunday night. And I have a series of questions. I'm going to pose the first question to y'all. Can Minnesota bounce back and push this series to 6 or 7 games? Or is this the end of the road for them? What say you, Scotty D?
No, the Thunder are just too good.
He said no. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
It's over. They're too good, and they're playing against an MVP. I think he officially won the MVP, right?
Yeah,
he's the official MVP. The team is way better. I mean, kudos to Minnesota for having a good team, but this year was going to be the tale of a team that was ready to take the next step, but that's clearly the Thunder. And I know they had the one game where Minnesota just kind of erupted, and it was a 40 point win. But and that's because they're a good team, and sweeping a good team is hard to do. But clearly, the Thunder are the better team, and I love the way that the MVP down the stretch in Game 4 just was going to the free throw line, just making free throws. That's so important. And it ended up being the difference in the game towards the end of the game because Minnesota did not go down without a fight. They were hitting threes, they were fighting back, they were making shots, and they just kept putting the Thunder on the line, and they just kept making. And the thing is, they couldn't even keep the ball out of Gilgeous-Alexander's hands down the stretch either. He was just getting free. He's fast, he's elusive, and he was getting the ball, and he's calmly making the free throws. That's what you expect out of your MVP. He's a total package, man. He's really, really good. I mean, honestly, I watched him more in the last couple of weeks than I have over the last year, and I'm very impressed with that dude.
Beli, what say you?
Oh, where has Rudy Gobert gone? Also, Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards. Like, where are your stars at? You need your stars to perform, and Minnesota just like Julius Randle is supposed to be that second piece. He's supposed to be the yin to yang of Anthony Edwards, your second scorer when teams clamp around Anthony Edwards because they know he's the clear star. He's supposed to be the guy that emerges. When he scores 5 points for you, it's a bad day in the office. And Minnesota only lost by 2 because their other stars, Jaden McDaniels with 22 points, Dante DiFrancesco with 21, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 20. Who?
Mike Jones.
But yeah, like those guys actually stepped up. But when your stars are not performing, Rudy Gobert, 13 points. Rudy Gobert was supposed to be the difference maker. Where's that 27 and 24 performance that he had before? Like, what happened? And so,
I kind of said that though when we were previewing this series. I said that I thought that they were going to try to do their best to push him around and keep him from being effective in a lane. And that dude's it's happening, and that dude's getting paid too much. He's the guy that got paid like a star, wasn't he? Be live, didn't he get a big?
Oh yeah, he's up there. He up there in the max contract and 5 years, 250 or some mess like that. But here's the thing, and you said it right here, and because I'm already sick and tired of these narratives that they push on social media and the media alike or whatever about how SGA goes to the free throw line a lot. He gets a lot of called fouls. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what happens when you don't shoot a bunch of 3-pointers and you take the ball to the hole. That is, they will give you those calls if you take it to the hole, but you spend too much time trying to shoot 3-pointers. Nobody's fouling on 3-pointers, but they'll foul if you get if you beat somebody into the lane, you're going to draw contact. And SGA is the best at it. It's a simple equation when it comes to the game of basketball.
He scored 40 and only was 2 of 7 from 3-point range.
Yeah, that was that right there just means you know what, my 3-point shot isn't working. Let me take it to the hole. He didn't have the best shooting, 13 of 30. That's little over 30% something like that. Not the best shooting.
What was it? The free throw line?
12 of 14.
Boom.
There it is right there. Like, if you're not shooting the ball well, take it to the hole. High percentage shot, draw contact, boom. Free throws, despite what people don't practice and do most of, free throws generally can still be free. And SGA is showing it, and people want to shame him for it. Like, y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop that for real. That is
the greats, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, all those dudes, they made their living at the free throw line in the postseason.
Right. If this shot wasn't working, and this is a clear case that SGA's shot wasn't working, he just kept taking it to the hole and messed around 49 and 10. Oh, if you're gonna shame me over 49-10 stat line, please shame. I'll take all the shame because, bruh, what he's doing is working. And
10 assists.
Yeah, that's what he's doing what needs to be done. That is what makes an MVP an MVP. SGA, keep doing what you're doing. OKC, what to say? Timberwolves, Beowulf.
Okay, you want me to do it?
Go ahead, hit it for me one time.
Timberwolves, Beowulfs, Red Wolves, Wolf Blitzer, don't matter. Thunder in 5. Thunder in 5.
I'd say Timber. The Wolves are going down.
Yeah, and I think we can all agree on that, man. It's just SJ is on another level, man. His game is so silky smooth, and he's not one of those guys that lives by 3 and dies by 3. Like you said, he actually goes to the cup to get contact and go to the line. I know it's not as sexy as a 3-pointer, but that's when you have players with an all-around game. Think about it. Jordan had an all-around game. Kobe had an all-around game. LeBron has an all-around game. You got to have an all-around game to get that level. I'm just sitting here and shoot 3-pointers all day. In the words of Scotty D, you can go 14 for 56, Scotty D. What should you keep on doing when you're going 14 for 56?
Just keep putting it up.
You might as well at this point because you're down by 20. Whatever. Let's just go ahead and get some practice and let's go ahead and do some halftime 3-pointers here. All right, let's check.
You know what I did not realize about this guy though is he was drafted all the way back in 2018.
Don't do that. Never mind.
And he was drafted.
I know. Scotty D. No, boy. Moving on.
Charlotte picked him, but he doesn't play for Charlotte anymore.
Neither did Kobe.
Wow, MVPs get drafted by Charlotte, but then don't play for them. That's very interesting stuff.
You had to say it.
I didn't even know if you knew.
Oh, well, we knew.
Because I did. I
Every
just
day, Scotty, I'm like, okay, well, he got traded to the Clippers. He got traded from the Clippers. Oh, he got traded about a whole. You know what? The more I think about it, the more it makes me mad. All right, let's go ahead and hop over to the Eastern Conference
because if
Finals.
you think about it, he might be
Oh,
scoring all these points in the playoffs for Charlotte. That
well,
could have happened.
things
The
happen, man.
Knicks versus the Pacers.
Oh yeah.
All
The
right,
other game.
so
There's
yeah,
other.
let's build a series. All right, Tyrese Halliburton's daddy, Pop Halliburton. Looks like they're gonna let him back on the sidelines. He's gonna behave, and let's hopefully he
He's
does.
on he's on probation.
Yeah, he's on probation. Yeah, he's on a 6 day
Daddy
probation.
probation.
Yeah, behave, Papa Halliburton. All right, so let's just go ahead and hop into it. The Pacers they're a pretty hot team. With that being said, let's talk about the Knicks because it's kind of like, whoo, the Knicks are kind of on spaghetti legs right now. Can the Knicks keep winning with poor starts and huge comebacks? Can they? I mean, because look, they like was it game one? They ran it down their leg and just kind of just gave up the league. So what do you think, fellas? Can the Knicks keep winning with poor starts and huge comebacks? Yes, no, maybe so.
This is
this, this,
confusing.
this right here was a game of desperation. The Pacers took 2 games in New York,
Mm-hmm.
and this was and then was up by 20 some points in this game, and the Knicks outscored them 36-20 in the fourth quarter. The Knicks knew that they could not go down 3-0, and they had to play game 4 in Indiana. It could have easily been a sweep, and Indiana said, "Nah, you know what? We got the message from Adam Silver. We gotta let you back in. Let you get one. Let you get one." So we were beating up on you too much. Let them slide in there and get one before the Pacers beat them in 5. This is not sustainable. It isn't at all. I mean, the Knicks, can they battle? Like I just haven't seen it because for 11 quarters they've been dominated by the Pacers. And it's like, and I want, you know what? I take it back. Not
No, I
dominated,
wouldn't say that.
not
They
dominated.
dominated the first 3 quarters of the first game.
Right. But that shot that Halliburton hit,
Oof.
God, that's a dagger, and that still sits there. But the Knicks knew that they had to have this game because you can't go down 3-0 in this series. You just can't do it in basketball period because it's never been done. So kudos to the Knicks, but you can't live this way. I think Indy comes back, bounce back, wins game 4. I think the Knicks will win game 5 back in New York, and then Indiana finish it off in 6 back in Indiana. I think the Knicks live off of emotion more than anything else. They have the skill, but they just seem too like roller coaster. Like they're like slow start. I don't know. That's just what it seems like to me. Where the Indiana Pacers just have that slight edge about them when it comes to this series. And like I said, that Halliburton shot that freaking bounced 10 feet in the air and dropped in the tie and take it to overtime. It still lingers, and I'm
Yeah,
glad
but
that.
I don't think it lingers anymore
Uh,
because Indiana went to New York, stole that game right out from under them. Game 2, Knicks had a very good chance to win that one. Indiana locked it up. Everything's going their way. They were up 20 in game 3 at home with a chance to go up and basically put the series away, and they coughed that up. And with that,
you think there's life back? You think there's life there?
Oh, absolutely. I
Right.
think, yeah. You have to figure too. Jalen Brunson has really not played well. He's sat out long stretches in this series already in 2 different games with foul trouble. He's too smart for that. I don't think he's going to continue to put himself in peril like that and be off the floor. Although when he has been, the team has played well without him, and I think that's a confidence booster. I think the Knicks right now are back to feeling confident, feeling their old selves. I could very easily see them going back to New York too.
Okay. All right. Well, we will find that out tonight.
Yeah.
All right. And speaking
Or they
of,
could go get blown out by 50. That also would not surprise me.
Ooh, that'd be stinking. All right, so fellas, how much does Indiana miss a consistent second score right beside Tyrese Halliburton? Because we know in the NBA, you got your like the Celtics, they have Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. In Miami, you have Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero. How much is the Pacers missing a second option as well too
I'd
behind
say they're
Zion?
not.
They're
They're two
not.
games. They're 2 games from the finals. They're really not. They've been
I think
getting balanced scoring, and my man TJ McConnell has been one of the guys coming off the bench, providing a lot of scoring and a lot of confidence. I don't think that they're really missing that.
and I think it's just a simple thing of they know who they are. They know
Mhm.
their identity. So it's not necessarily like superstar to superstar. It's a team effort, and they know just how to distribute the ball and move the ball around and catch the person with the hot hand, whether it be a Pascal Siakam, Aaron Neesmith, Miles Turner, Obi Toppin, TJ McConnell. Bennett Matherin. I mean, they use a lot of different combinations to come at you a lot of different ways, and so you can't really put your focus on one player where they have a multitude player, and they know that. So I mean, I think not necessarily having that 20-point score every night, they don't need it, and they've shown that. And can I say because I think Greeny said it on First Take. I don't even watch it anymore, but I saw this. I think I saw this video where
Mhm.
the days of like the big three and stuff like that, and the big, and I think those days are over. I think it. I think the talent is a little bit more balanced, and teams are starting to realize that role players are way more important than to have a superstar that has to fall back into a role player role as opposed to role players knowing their role and shutting their mouth. Oh, my bad. The wrong quote.
I knew it was
No.
coming. Yeah.
No, they just got it. Hey, Indiana knows they just know how to go out there, and everybody knows how to do their do their role, do their position, and do it well. And that's why they're one of the last four teams in this whole competition known as the NBA right now.
That'll be a
True.
great question next year, though, Eddie. Whenever Miles Turner's playing for the Lakers, that'll be an
Hey,
excellent.
here we go.
That'll be an excellent question.
Oh boy, here we go.
Or maybe Charlotte will just draft somebody and trade him to the
Shut
Lakers.
up.
And
Shut up. Like I
that'll
don't
be their.
understand. This is why we kicking a dead horse. I know.
Scotty, do you know what some of us that's a particularly sensitive and sore spot. Sensitive and
I,
sore spot.
I just found out about Gildas Alexander. I had no idea. I had no idea
Yeah.
Charlotte drafted him.
I was just I was keeping it on the right. I actually found out like a couple of months ago, and I was just like, I said, yeah, I'm not even mentioning this. I'm just going to just like how I'm just going to scream to myself in the house.
Even
How?
worse though is the Clippers. They traded playoff P. They traded to get
Oh,
playoff P. That
and there was actually it was a mention on that a post about that where if the OKC and Indiana meet in the finals, it'll be the playoff P finals because they built both of those teams were built off of trades for the from picks for Paul George, and it's like wow, but that hey for some reason the Clippers want to leverage the 76 want to leverage their futures for playoff P.
playoff is this time is playoff G. Paul George playoff G for golf because that's what he does during the playoffs.
Yeah.
Playoff C for 1, 2, 3 Cancun.
Yeah. AKA I'm gonna sit home and focus on the playoffs and do my podcast. Son, you played in Philly. Just keep doing what you're doing. You get your sponsors, keep doing what you're doing. Fellas,
He's still
real
getting paid $60 million a
that's the
year.
thing. That's the
Yo,
thing. Crazy as
I'm like,
hell. That's the thing.
oh, this man, I wish I had money just to throw away like that. That's wild to me.
Shoot, we could give us doggone $2.5 million. We'll show you what do this here podcast. Real
Bro,
quick.
boy,
Yeah,
we
real quick. Yeah, real quick, fellas. Before we hop onto our favorite portion of the show, We got some time left, so we got some time to opine on this. So they tried and they failed once again to ban the tush push. What are your thoughts on this concerted effort of trying to eliminate a highly successful play? Scotty D, you first.
It should be illegal. It's bad for the game. People are going to get hurt. It's not good for the sport.
What? Okay, I don't have those notes. What were the health experts saying about it? Because I mean, we really haven't seen that significant injury, but I feel like it's literally around the corner.
Um,
I don't know that there was any. I think they just showed that there was nothing of significance to go by.
yeah, that's what it was. They said there's no actual factual evidence that people are getting hurt on the play itself.
Right.
And
I
and
feel
and
I feel it's inevitable because teams are going to find some. You know who's a staunch advocate against the tush push?
who?
Frankie Louvu for the Commanders.
It ain't their fault he can't pay attention. It ain't their
Over
fault.
here jumping for the sky, jumping off sides. He's like, man, I can't sit there. I don't think it was a quotable, but he's like, man, because he was trying so hard. I miss you, Frankie Louvu. I understand why my Panthers got rid of you, but yeah, and
Because we don't want to pay. Where my microphone? Because we don't want to pay no damn body. Go
they
ahead.
they missed the vote by 2 teams. 22 teams voted against the or voted for the ban, but they needed 24 votes, or 75% of the owners, to ban it, and they fell 2 votes short. So, and just another side note about that. Oh, Jeffrey Lurie pissed off a lot of people because
What he do?
they said that he had almost an hour long speech
Yeah,
slash tirade
yeah.
Oh,
about
he went off.
advocating
Yeah.
for it.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
and
I
they
heard
were
about that.
like, "Hey, you got anything?" And someone like, "You got anything else to say?" I'm like, "Ooh, oh, this
How
is
can you talk about it that long? I'm already ready to move on. And we
right." You
talked
know
about it
what
like
I'm
2 minutes.
saying?
I mean, I look at it like this. When it comes to the tush push, I look at it like this. The way people complain about, oh, Cam Newton got to the end zone and he dabbed and danced. I got 2 words for you. Stop it.
That's it.
Stop it. Because every year the NFL, you get something called film. You study film over the off season. You study film going into OTAs, and you study film going into training camp. Somewhere between the beginning of film study, the middle of film study, and the consistent ever going thing of film study, you figure out some way to try to stop the tush push. The thing about it is, I believe it can be stopped.
So get your weight
It's
up.
well. Here's the thing. I'm if they would ban it, I would be okay with the ban because I don't. I've said this before. I don't like the idea of a guy behind the quarterback pushing him forward like that. I'm not crazy about that. However, if you're choosing this point in time in NFL history to make that a rule, you're basically singling out the Eagles, the team that just won the Super Bowl. It's hard to be objective and to say, well, we should never have let it go on this time. We're going to stop it now. And then that's a tool that they found to use effectively. So in that instance, it's just really hard to stop. I think it was Mike Vrabel said we should ban Lamar Jackson because nobody can stop him either.
Yeah. He said it, and the Sky D over here got his best Jeffrey Lurie impersonation because that's exactly what Jeffrey Lurie said. He said, I was going to win either way. If you didn't ban it, hey, ta-da, we still get to use it. If you do ban it, it's because we won with it." So he was like, win-win. And I think he used some colorful language in that. He's like, hey, you ban it, hey, we won it, and you had to ban it to stop us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, he
I
was
mean, the quarterback sneak is already tough enough to stop. I just don't think it's fair to have a guy pushing you from behind. Now, I feel differently if the ball's thrown down the field. Like you see a lot of situations, ball's thrown down the field, the receiver hits into a defender, two more guys come up and stop him, your legs are turning, and then your guys come from behind and push, and then you have the pile moving downfield. That's an instance where you've had an opportunity to make an open field tackle. But I think when you're under center and you have somebody pushing you from behind, I'm not a fan of that. I don't think I'd be a fan of it, even if it wasn't the Eagles. But again, I think by singling that out, I don't think you can do that. So here we go. Tush push still going on. Just have to have to stop them before they get to 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2.
You got to force them in up. You got to be better defensively and force them in the 3rd and long situations. 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 45. You have to.
You know how you get it banned?
How you get it banned?
You get it banned by having all the other teams try to do it. They start drafting heavy set quarterbacks, and now you got 15 and 16 teams doing the tush push across the league, and it starts looking ugly, and it's detrimental to the sport because people are starting to get bored with it. That's how you get it banned.
Yeah. Also, on top of that, man, I was thinking, what was I thinking? I just had this wild thought. I said, what if teams just start drafting quarterbacks that were the size of the late legendary hefty lefty Jared Lorenzen, or what's big boy from I think he was Texas A&M, Javorsky Lane. I don't know if you remember him.
Hey, shoot, if I'm anybody, shoot, I'm lining up the fridge, William the Fridge Perry. I'm getting him a different jersey.
Yeah.
I'm getting him to change numbers. He's gonna be the biggest number 8 you've ever seen in your life. It's taking the ball that center.
Report is eligible.
But doesn't it make you wonder though why so many voted against it? Because it's basically automatic. And you know what else was automatic? What? The extra point. And they moved that back because they wanted to make it more difficult. So how is that? It feels like a contradiction to me in a certain sense. I don't know.
Well, I think the thing about it was that enough teams saw that it was a football play. Why would you ban a football play that's not really dangerous? And like they took something and revolutionized it. Like this, unfortunately, majority of the teams don't have a 6'5" quarterback that freaking squats 600 pounds. Hey, get your weight up. Like Jalen Hurts is built like that.
Or just like I said, if I'm an NFC East team, I'm drafting the big fella that went to the University of Florida.
Oh my God!
I'm drafting him. If I'm playing the Eagles, if it's 3rd and 2 and 3rd and inches, I'm gonna put him right there in the middle, son. I'm gonna need you about this close from the nose of the football. Try to stay out of the neutral zone, but just lean over. They're gonna go to the left. They're gonna go to the right. If you see it, lean over. Just lean over.
I think he got drafted in the 7th round or something like that
by Tampa Bay, which means we got to see him twice a year be live.
Well, the thing about this is that leverage.
Yeah,
I mean he's a big guy, but if you momentum is something else. Like it ain't just mass. It's mass versus and speed, velocity. And right, but they're gonna get force.
But that's why I think in the open field, it should be legal because you're already out there moving, but the defense can't move. You've already lost momentum at the snap of the ball.
Right.
So that's what it is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and cry about it. The Cowboys are going to miss out on the Super Bowl next year, not because of the tush push. It's going to be because they have a sucky quarterback.
You got him some help, got him some help.
Yeah, they definitely got him some help.
Yeah, got him some help.
I'm just waiting on just the first blow up. Like George Pickens just grabbing. It's just a ticking time bomb. It's gonna happen. He gonna fight somebody. Ladies
and gentlemen, wide receiver number 4 for the number 5 for the Dallas Cowboys, Captain Fashout. I understand being competitive, but
wasn't it a Cowboys player that he literally yanked by the face mask? Wasn't it a Cowboys?
Yeah,
I believe it was Jordan Lewis
for training camp.
Yeah,
I can see it now. Who you yanking now, mother? Yeah, exactly.
think
Exactly.
I think it might have been Jordan Lewis, and he's gone.
Oh,
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's who it was. It was one of our D backs for the Cowboys. I think it was Jordan Lewis. Anyway,
Yeah. All right. But that being said, that does it for the tush push talk. That does it about the NBA conference finals talk. If you're listening or watching or viewing or whatever you're doing, hop in the chat box and tell us what you think about what they should do with the tush push, and also give us your thoughts on the conference finals. With that being said, looking at my phone because I have yet to get a watch. I might get that thing fixed in 2 weeks. Guess what time it is?
what time is it? What's happening? What's going on?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. It's time once again for our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. With that being said, hey, yo, button, hit it. Choices of the voices coming at you right here on the Sports Podcast. We'll be back and be live. Cue the graphic. We'll see you 2 and 2 right here on Facebook Live and YouTube Live.
And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
Once again, thank you to the wonderful and
ever.
so lovely Miss Button for introducing our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. You never know what you're gonna get with you. Where we ask you the question, you give us the answer, and we talk about it right here on the Sports Bros podcast. Also, if you're watching us on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, you want to participate as well too. Drop something in the chat box. Will we read it live? All depends on when you leave it, but be active, participate. This is a sports podcast by the fan for the fan. With that being said, Scotty D, what's on Titty Tap for this week's choices of the voices?
Well, I think if I'm remembering correctly, we asked you to tell us about your most interesting, exciting, favorite NBA finals of years past. And what did the people say, Eddie Cool?
All right. Ryan Rubelski, got the name right on the first
Rubleski.
time. Rubleski. Oh, I jinxed myself. He said, my favorite final is all of them. He said, I hate basketball and love when the season is over. Get in the penalty box. Get in there. Get in there.
Too easy. And you know what? Boom. Right there. Even got a graphic for it. You're in the penalty box. Bro, come on, man. Brought to you by Snoopy. Yeah.
Oh, yes, you use Snoopy graphic? Yes.
Absolutely. You had to bring out the Snoopy graphic. Ryan, this, ladies and gentlemen, when we ask these questions, we want you to take up just a little bit, just a little teeny bit. We like comedy. We like comedy, but
yeah.
This is our comedy too. This is our reaction. Penalty box. It's kind of son.
I'm looking at it live on YouTube. This is hilarious.
I had something even better, but he didn't have a good picture, so I was like, you know what? I don't even worry. Like I said, this is episode 298, episode 300. We're gonna be locked and loaded. I promise you, it's only going to get better.
Wait, what episode are we on?
We're on 298, sir.
298.
Wow, so that means 300 is pretty close.
Yes, it is.
It's like two away, I think.
2 away. And it's going to fall on the day after National Happy Be Live Day. So episode 300 and celebrating your boy Be Live in the Sports Bros podcast. I like it. I love it.
Oh, boy. Episode 300 is going to smell like sweat and stale beer.
I'm celebrating those. I might not do anything on Monday. Who knows? Who actually knows?
God.
We have to wake him up for this 4 o'clock start time.
I hadn't said it in a while, but I got the Amtrak this team because boy, we going off the rails. Going off the rails. Ladies and gentlemen, Amtrak is a term that we use to put things back on the rail. Amtrak train company, transportation company, don't sue us. If you want to sponsor us, cool, but don't sue us. All right. All right. So here we go. All right. John Wasick, he says, I'll take the 96-97 Bulls. The flu game beating Stockton and Malone. Haven't watched much since he retired from the Bulls. So Wasick, he was he the Waz?
Waz, yeah.
Yeah, Waz. He says the 96-97 Bulls, flu game. Great series between Jazz and the Bulls. All right.
Jordan never went 7, right?
Never went to 7.
Nope, never went 7. Nope, never went to 7. All right. Rambus. I was trying to think of something about Kurt Rambis, but it flopped. All right,
that's where you get the nickname from.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Rambus Evans, what's up, man? He said the Suns versus the Bulls. My neighbor and I had a bet. I chose Barkley and the Suns. Loser had to mow the other's lawn. Game 6, I believe it was Paxson.
Yeah, it was Paxson.
Yep. Who had 3 at the end who had 3 at the end, and my neighbor is yelling, "Crank up that more."
Yeah. Oh, man. Whoopsie.
There were some good games in that series, though.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't there like a double overtime thriller? I think the Suns actually won that game.
What was that? Was that one of the ones? Wasn't that the one where Jordan pushed off on the guy and
Byron Russell?
Yeah.
That was the Jazz. That was his last shot.
That was. Did he have a similar one against the Suns?
Very possible. Very possible.
I just remember that where it was like moving.
I had this argument with somebody because it wasn't Jordan, but I mean it was pretty much related or whatever. Where you have that slight nudge whenever you cross somebody up, and that is a play that is basically a hand check that's been used since the beginning of time. And I will tell anybody and everybody this: if you're able to be moved by a slight little nudge, that means you were already crossed.
Yep.
Like that slight nudge didn't really help or do anything. You're already going the wrong direction, and that little just it clears up. Boom, we in there.
Yep, you were deadly with it.
I didn't see I didn't have the crossover game. I was a spot shooter. I wasn't one to take you off the dribble. I was a spot shooter, and yes, I was deadly with it. I'm about sick of you. But yeah.
Be like. You wouldn't shooting those flat-footed 3-pointers like Sam Perkins, were you?
Oh no. Ew, no. Oh no.
Have you ever seen Sam Perkins shoot a
Oh,
3-pointer?
absolutely. Yeah. I made sure not to shoot like him.
He just
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it worked for him. It worked
It
for him.
worked for him, but no, I was
Yeah.
a textbook. They shoot. I was one of the ones that I had the high arc. I had the high arc. And all the what's the thing, the rotation of all, yeah.
Yeah. I saw Karl Anthony Towns shoot one a few nights ago. I was like, is that Karl Anthony Towns or Sam Perkins reincarnated? What we doing?
Right.
Yeah, check it out. Sam Perkins, I swear to God, he shoots those 3-pointers flat foot. He doesn't jump at all. Just give him the ball, and that's it. All right.
I saw this post today though about Karl Anthony Towns. Did you know that his first name is Karl Anthony, and his last name is Towns? It's not Karl Anthony Towns. It's Karl Anthony Towns.
It's all ran together. It just sounds like it's just.
His first name is Karl
Anthony. That's what they call him, Cat. Yeah, because it's just everything just run together real fast, real quick. All right.
I love how unimpressed Scotty D is. He's like,
what Scotty D? What does the barber say?
Next.
All right. With that being said, Tom, winner, chicken dinner. He said, I will take Willis Reed limping on the court, hitting his first two, and spiritually decimating perhaps a superior Lakers squad. Yeah, man. Willis Reed will live forever. He's a legend, man. Helped the Knicks win that chip back then. He said, you know what? I'm hurt, but I'm going to knock down these 2 free throws and get us the chip. All right.
And Scotty D said it was before his time.
I think I was 0 years old when that happened. I think I was maybe half.
Yeah. 6 months old, like, what is he doing? All right, moving right along. Will Georgia, he says, the 2016 Cavs finals, only team to come back from a 3-1 plus the block and Kyrie shot. He said, tough question, Scotty. Was he being sarcastic? I think he was.
No, I think he really liked that.
Okay.
He's a basketball fan. I think it's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was an electric series.
Yeah. Hey, that's a nice picture of Tom winning chicken dinner. All right. So and Will too as well. All right. So with that being said, we have Matty Ice, Spartan Tracy. Anybody got a guess? Anybody want to guess who he picked? No, I'll stop you right there. He said, for me, it will always be his Celtics versus the Lakers in '84 when it went 7 games and plenty of drama and stars. That's a good damn answer. That's a good one. That is a real good one.
It is.
So can't debate that one. Can't debate that one. So shout out to the Rubes, Ryan Rubleski, the Waz, John Wasick, Ramdas Evans, Tom Winner Chicken Dinner, Will and Matty Ice for their participation in this week's Choices of the Voices. Scotty D, what say you?
Lots to choose from, but the one I'm going to single out was the '88 finals where the Lakers had Pat Riley guarantee a repeat the year before, and they found themselves in a 7-game battle with the Detroit Pistons, and they found themselves down 3-2 and in deep trouble in Game 6 when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar sank 2 free throws that still is debated to this day whether the foul should have been called or not, but nonetheless, Lakers were able to pull that game out and then go on and win a really close Game 7. It was like the coming of age of the Pistons and sort of the ending of the Celtics as we knew them at that point. And then Detroit and the Lakers would meet again the following year, and Detroit would win the next 2 championships after this one, after the '88 one. But that was a tense series. It was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's final title. He would only play 1 more year, and that was the 5th of the Lakers' 5 in the decade of the '80s. But that was a super tense series. Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson smooching and then trying to kill each other every game. So that's when I really will always remember. Be Live.
Oh, and want to give a quick shout out before I have my answer because coming from YouTube Live, my man Mike Pia from Mike Pia Media LLC, one of the baddest photographers, videographers in the game here in Fayetteville,
What's
North
up, Mike?
Carolina.
What's up, Mike?
What's happening, Mike? Man, much appreciated. He mentions the Miami Heat versus the Dallas Mavericks in 2011, where
Yep.
Dirk takes his team, puts it on his back, and takes down the big three in Miami. One of the great moments in sports. Dirk and Jason Kidd getting their ring was absolutely phenomenal. So, Mike, greatly appreciate you chiming in with that, checking us out on YouTube Live. So, want to throw that in there.
We're on YouTube Live?
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
sir.
I'm watching this
Wow.
on TV right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Scotty
yeah.
D, you gotta tell your folks we're on TV, YouTube TV, but we's on
We're on
TV.
TV.
Now.
Oh, yeah, baby. I'm
I
talking
gotta
I'm
start
working
doing
on
better with
something.
his hair then before.
There's not much you can do with that. All right. my favorite my favorite NBA final is one I know that's going to be near and dear to Scotty D's heart, and because I profess my team in the NBA is the Charlotte Hornets. Now you are, as everybody knows, we ain't got nothing. But I grew up. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I grew up a Detroit Pistons fan. Detroit basketball, and so man,
Yeah, that wasn't annoying.
I was a bad boy. I was a Bad Boys fan, and so, but this one is actually a little bit closer to our time and everything because this relates to Scotty D and the Los Angeles Lakers because the Lakers had just come off a three-peat with Kobe and Shaq in 2000, 2001, 2002, and then they had lost to the San Antonio Spurs in 2003. And the Lakers decided they wanted to try to shore up their lineup by adding the likes of Karl Malone and a very aging Karl Malone and Gary Payton to the LA Lakers team. And that just so happened to face and make it to the NBA Finals and face the Detroit Pistons with the star-studded lineup of Chauncey Billups, Rasheed
Wallace.
Ben Wallace, and the fact that the Pistons beat the Lakers and by just pure unadulterated defense, smash mouth basketball, won 4-1, and the most unlikeliest of teams to win it all was the 2004 Detroit Pistons. Detroit basketball.
That's a terrible answer.
Why?
He said it's terrible.
It's terrible answer.
I absolutely loved it.
Oh, every time anybody went near Shaq, they blew a whistle on him. Shaq was in foul trouble that whole series. Guy was never in foul trouble his entire career. He's in trouble 5 games out of 5 in that series. Give me a break. And Karl Malone was hurt. He didn't even play in that series.
He was
well because he was like 50 years old. Like I was like
trying to do that dunk.
Eddie Cool, what you got for us?
I hope you have a better answer than that lump of coal.
Be Live, you stole my answer because that was a good one. But something that the Sports Bros have witnessed, we've witnessed because that was the first time that we ever went live with we ever were in person to record this podcast. Spoiler alert, we've only recorded this in person only one time back in 2019. With that being said, let's talk about the time the Toronto Raptors upset the Golden State Warriors. That year was the year that Golden State went out and got Boogie Cousins, giving him a true center after his ruptured Achilles issues. And then there was some in-house fighting between, you guessed it, Draymond Green and Kevin Durant over Kevin Durant's future free agent status, his status. And so you had a lot of infighting and everything going on. And so let's just say that the Raptors were on a magical run. Remember, that's the time when Kawhi hit that game-winning three-pointer to get Philly the hell up out of there as well, too.
That another one that hit the rim and stayed up in the air for God knows how long.
And
that was a game 7 clincher.
Yeah.
God,
Kawhi pulled up a chair
and watched it go in.
Yeah,
Watched it go in.
grabbed the popcorn and a drink and sat in the front row and waited for that shot to drop.
Yep. And so with that being said, in the Eastern Conference, they finished at 58-24 behind the Milwaukee Bucks. Didn't matter because they went on to beat everybody, and they beat them. I think they beat them in, was it 5? I think they beat them in 6. Yeah, in 6. And so Pascal Siakam, he had 26 points. Klay Thompson, he had 30. Draymond pulled down 19 boards, and Pascal Siakam, he was doing everything. And yeah, and so Kawhi Leonard, he scored 22 points and 6 rebounds, and he was named the NBA Finals MVP. And he hit us with a laugh. He hit us with a laugh. And then on top of that, KD, he got hurt. I think he tore his ACL. Was it his ACL? Yeah, KD got hurt. He was like, "Oh man, if KD was there, I don't know. I don't know, man, because the Raptors didn't come to play." And with that being said, it gives the NBA its first ever Canadian world champion, north of the border, as they clinch Game 6. Raptors 114, Golden State Warriors 110. And I think after that, KD said, "All right, man, I'm tired of Draymond. I'm tired of y'all. I'm the hell up out of here." So that was a memorable series.
Yeah.
All right.
Way better answer than B-Live's answer.
Wow.
Like you had something. Now you got something to say now, B-Live, because Scotty didn't poke the bell. You're poking that bell. You're poking the bell. Oh, man. All right, with that being said, that about does it for another edition of the Choice of the Voices. Scotty D, what's on tap for next week?
All right, I stole this one from a website or a version of this. I don't even remember where I got it, but it's baseball themed. So right now, Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani are the reigning MVPs and looking like they're going to repeat. So my question is, do you think these guys are both going to repeat? And if not, who's going to be the one that prevents the double repeat?
Aroldis Chapman. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, B-Live sent us a clip of an old Aroldis Chapman fireball when he was with the Pirates last year. That I was watching that actually when it happened, when he had Machado.
That's insane. Like he literally went up 101 to 102 to 103 to 105. I'm like, good. And I mean, heat.
And Machado couldn't do anything with it because the final strike was on the inside corner, and he just gave him like that look, like respect. It was respect,
right? It was. Filthy with it.
If somebody asked me to, Ed, if you had a chance to face a pitcher, would you? I just forgot about that. The late, I said, would you? Somebody said, would you rather face the late Tim Wakefield or Aroldis Chapman? Just give me Tim Wakefield. I'm not about to do something.
I have a chance if Wakefield plunks me of getting out of there with my life.
Yeah. And I can actually see the ball and actually time it. Aroldis Chapman, you know what? Just go ahead and strike me out, bro. I'm not about to. Matter of fact,
I can just imagine making contact and the shock going through your hand when you hit the ball, when you just hit something. Oh man, that's a whole nother level. Like,
you doing this right here. Scotty D, how long has Aroldis Chapman been playing? He got to be close to 18 years. He's been around for a long time, hasn't he?
I want to say he came in the league around 2009 or 10, somewhere like that. Yeah.
Hey, good God. And still throwing straight gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really don't want to mess with that. All right, with that being said, that
all
about does
gas, no brakes. Yeah, that I mean.
Good old Jacob 5-2. With that being said, that does it for another edition of the Choices of the Voices. Be live, grab the pepper grinder, because guess what? We're going to roll right in to Around the Pepper. Coming at you. Stay. Don't you dare go away. Favorite Sports Podcast, the Sports Bros Podcast. Hit the graphic, Be live.
Okay, boys, let's bring it home with a round of pepper.
Yes, sir. All right, you heard the woman. It's time for us to go home and get what I call the hell up out of here. But before we go, number one, that intro to Around the Pepper. You see the social media to follow us there. Not now, but right now. It's time for another round of pepper. where we educate, engage, enlighten, and entertain. The 4 E's in no particular order. With that being said, I'll go first. All right. On this day in history, back in 1974, Scotty D, the Pirates, Ken Brett, no hits the Padres until the ninth inning. You almost had one. You almost had one. With that being said, over to you, Scotty D.
Did they win at least?
I don't even know. I don't even see the score.
They probably did. They would win actually some games.
I'm about to say this is the 74 team. So
Yeah.
Was it around the time the Pop Stargill and the We Are Family team?
Yeah, well, Stargill was there. It was pre-family, but yeah, he was there. They won the World Series in '72 as well. So
okay,
or 71.
Before the decline. Go ahead, Scotty.
Yeah. As a Dallas Cowboy fan, I just want to say, Indianapolis Colts fans, I'm jealous of you. Be Live, over to you.
Oh, man.
Understandably so.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you understand what exactly it is I'm talking about, but think about it.
Well, I'd like to have a cold one with them, but oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Did I say that? See, that's why I'm gonna get kicked off the show for real because I can never stay serious. My first pepper point, and RIP to Jim Irsay, man, definitely put the Indianapolis Colts on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and a whole nother, I don't even know if you really call this sports, but this new type of competition is actually encouraging the use of performance enhancing drugs. The Enhanced Games will be set to premiere in May 2026 in Las Vegas, where athletes will be allowed, if not outright encouraged, to use PEDs like steroids, testosterone, and growth hormone that are typically legal to possess but banned in sports. They're going to be competing in Olympic style sports. So if you want your nuts to shrivel and want to win in sports, compete in the Enhanced Games in Las Vegas next year. Eddie Cool, the shriveled balls.
I don't want them. I don't want them. Just give me some air.
Mark McGuire, please report to Las Vegas. Mark McGuire, please report to Las Vegas.
Jose Canseco and a now black Sammy Sosa. Where you at?
And current news, Jerks and Profar. There's your competition.
Yeah, what a dum-dum.
Oh my God. Anyways, all right. I got another one, Scotty. You gonna like this one.
Lay it on
Back
me.
in 1987, New York Yankees knuckleballer Phil Niekro becomes the third pitcher to make a 700 start, joining Cy Young and Don Sutton. The other 700 club and the other 700 clubs that no one talks about. Boy, I walked right into that one. Over to you, Scotty D. I've been damned. I walked right into that one. Open the door, you.
So officially now, Around the Horn is no longer around. Around the Horn is off the air as of this past Friday. Had their last show. Couple tearjerker moments on there when they said goodbye to some of the. They had their last FaceTimes with guys like J.A. Adonde and Woody Page, and you know what? Shout out to Tony Reale because that dude was low key a really good host for that show. They said he hosted that show more times than Oprah hosted her show. That's how long it was. A 23-year program, 23-year run, and Reale was on there every day. Stat Boy, he started off as Stat Boy, and really made a career of it. And I didn't watch that show every day, but it was one of those shows I was glad it was on, and I knew like every once in a while I would tune in and catch it, and you'd see different sports writers. They did a lot for careers of a lot of people. Like there's a lot of ESPN personalities gained exposure by going on that show first and then sort of working their way up from there. So shout out to that show. Shout out to Tony Reale. Around the Horn no longer. Be Live, over to you.
All right, Scotty D. I'm gonna need you to stay out my notes.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna need you to stay out my notes because you in my notes again.
Stolen base.
But no,
Well, tack on to that and add on to that.
I'm gonna tag on to it because, as you mentioned, Around the Horn showed its last episode, but there was someone noticeably missing from Around the Horn. You would have thought this would have been a perfect opportunity to have a good send off. Then the original host of Around the Horn, Max Kellerman.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Well, but there's a reason why he wasn't on the show, because as we do know that he was like, hey, thanks for your services, but your services are no longer required because of his beef with Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen A. Smith sort of runs things at ESPN, and some of us don't like it that much. But there is a noticeable reason why we haven't seen Max Kellerman doing anything, because he's got his Bobby Bonilla going on. He's still under contract.
Oh.
ESPN still is paying him $5 million per year to do nothing.
Where do I get a gig like that?
Hey, Ryan, damn, what we doing it all wrong?
He's still under contract, so he can't do anything else while he's still under the ESPN contract. So it does expire this year in 2025, but he's been paid $5 million a year to do nothing.
That's so dumb. That is so dumb.
It is just to sit around the house.
I would make him go to work in Princeton. I'd send him to like the kayak races or something. Cover something. You're in pay. You gotta send him somewhere. Make him go to bowling. Something dreadful.
See, they see.
Make him go cover the PBA.
What did I do to you today?
Who do you think you are?
I didn't say anything about you. I didn't say anything about you.
No, you're disrespecting a sport. I told you about this. I mean, was this because of the Detroit Pistons? Is that what
Max?
Is your get back?
I'm sending you to cover the guy with the sunglasses that says "I am he" or whatever. Yeah,
Who do you think you are? I am.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that guy. Pete.
He's him.
Pete, whatever his name is.
Be cool. Double.
All right, man. Third and final pepper point. I just lost it, but I got to find it again. Scotty D, you'll like this. It's about football, right? Good old spring football. WLAF, WLAF, or laugh as some people like to call it, the World Bowl 14, World League of American Football, at the LTU Arena in Dusseldorf, Frankfurt, in Germany. The Frankfurt Galaxy beat the Amsterdam Admirals 22-7.
How'd they sneak that one by me?
I don't know, man. The World League used to come on, was it FX? Yeah, it used to come on FX, and I like the Ryan Fire jersey because they had like the jersey, the fire and everything. And the Amsterdam, was it Frankfurt Galaxy? Not too fond of it because there was too much going on. But the Barcelona Dragons, their jersey was pretty cool as well too. Over to you, Scotty D.
Well, speaking of football, the owners are going to let the boys play flag football in the Olympics. That's crazy. That's crazy. I remember a running back from, I think he was playing for the Patriots or the Bills at the time. He played for both. Was it Antoine Smith? I think maybe it was.
Robert Edwards.
Robert Edwards. That's who it was, right? Yeah,
Yep.
ripped his knee up
Yep.
playing in a sand game. Now, I know this is a little bit different, but this is going to be going on like right before training camp. This is you need to get into the season healthy, and these guys are going to be over there playing flag. You don't need NFL players to beat the world at flag football. You could send Jimmer. Jimmer could play. He's retired from the 3-on-3.
He's looking for a job.
Yeah, Jimmer's retired from 3-on-3 bass. Send Jimmer and some of these other. There's actually pro flag football leagues, I think.
Yeah.
Send those guys. The rest of the world's not playing flag football. Don't send Micah Parsons, having him blow his knee out when I need him to rush and I need a dozen sacks out of him a year. Be live over to you.
Oh yeah, the flag football players, the professional flag football, they are pissed. They are not.
I bet they are. I bet they are.
Rightfully so, man. Yeah.
They're saying like the NFL didn't grow flag football, we did, and now they just get to step in and there's a lot going on there. So the tryouts will be what they are, whatever. I think that you will see more of the actual flag football guys because it's a different sport.
Yeah.
The guys that play it, they take it very seriously, and it's a different design. You can't really just pick up and just jump in. You may be more like athletically talented, but like flag football skill. There's a whole different element to it. So we'll see how that works. I hope that the real flag football guys get the recognition that they deserve.
Let them
Yeah.
have they like Shannon Sharp said on Nightcap last night. Let them have they shine, man. Damn. Let them have
I
Oh
say
shine.
man.
send the Jimmer.
Might as
Well,
well.
my third and final pepper point. Y'all know how I do things.
Uh-oh.
And just buckle up your safety belts because
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your undergarments, your socks, your shoes, your hats,
oh
and your wigs if you
He's
have
about to be deadly with it.
yeah.
like deadlifts.
this
Let's get it.
we've witnessed this baseball season how absolutely god awful terrible the Colorado Rockies are.
Bad.
Well, but this has been long stemming. This isn't just this year. They've been bad for a pretty long time. So much to the fact that there is a current lawsuit against the Colorado Rockies because a fan got hit in the right eye by a foul ball when they were playing the New York Yankees at Coors Field. This was stemming back from July 16, 2023. The fan goes by the name of Tony Rocco. He was in a luxury box as a guest of the box owner when he was struck in the first inning of the team's game. Now, here's the thing. The reason why this is my third and final pepper point, however, though, the lawsuit claims architectural elements of the luxury box made it impossible to see the incoming foul ball. So basically, I guess the way the box was designed, that it made it hard to see the foul ball coming that way. But also, the suit also claims the Rockies' poor play was a factor, as it was easy to ignore the action on the field. He is
Wow.
suing the Rockies for being terrible at baseball and not easy to watch.
Mm.
If he wins, I'm buying Pirate season tickets and I'm heading to the luxury box.
And I'm putting stock into the Cleveland Browns.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
Man,
Jesus Christ. What the
I
hell?
love it.
They are dreadful. They are absolutely
And
dreadful.
this is the quotable. Defenders' long-standing poor performance on the field has contributed to a game day environment in which spectators, particularly those in luxury suites, are less engaged with the action on the field. They're saying, like, man, we're in the luxury box. We chilling. Why are we actually watching this terrible baseball game? And then whack up right up in the eyeball.
Wow. That's crazy.
Good old Colorado Rockies. I'm gonna ask our research department what their record is. I think I saw it was like eight and something a while back.
They're on a record pace.
God, boy, they bad.
They are on a record pace.
They've won that one game. They've won one more game since this is the first time I saw that graphic. The Colorado Rockies are a putrid, disgusting, horrible, abominable, if that's a word. 9-45.
Wow.
9-45. Now I remember we made we were kind of talking a few weeks ago about who's gonna win more games and who's gonna be better. Um the Chicago White Sox are 17-37.
Yeah, it's not even a debate. It's not even,
Hey, chat. I'm gonna post chat. Our listeners, our watchers, our viewers. I'm gonna post the question just for S and G's for steaks and giggles. Who's gonna finish with the worst? The absolute matter of fact, who's gonna finish with a better record between the Chicago White Sox and the Colorado Rockies? You know what? That's a gimme. That's a gimme. I gotta find another bad team real quick. Where the Athletics at?
you got to find another.
I got one. I got one up here.
Oh, you got one up here? Let's see.
Yeah, they're the third. They're the third worst.
Yeah, 19-36. So they are. If I'm looking at the standings, okay, the worst team in.
Yeah, your better question would be who is going to have the worst season, the Chicago White Sox or the Pittsburgh Pirates? Because that's a little bit closer in comparison.
Yeah.
The Colorado Rockies are just yeah, they're on the record pace.
They should have to play a best of 5 series in October for the number 1 draft pick.
That you know what that's
actually, if I'm not mistaken, there is some kind of rule where the Rockies are not going to qualify to have the top pick, some kind of anti-tanking rule. And I have to look more into it,
Mm.
but there's something going on with that where they're not even going to be feudal and be rewarded for it. So I got to research that again. I got to look that up again. But I thought I heard something about that, but don't quote me on the details. But there is something going on there.
I think at the end of the season, there should be a 4-team playoff, if you will. The absolute worst, the second worst, the third worst, and the fourth worst.
And then nobody will show up.
It'll be
So you
the
want? We already have 162 games of bad baseball. You want to add on more bad baseball?
Be Live.
Yeah.
Look, how about this? Just have them play in one stadium.
Like the UFL does.
Yes, just have them play in one stadium. But you know what? Nobody want to come see you at home. So let's give you some extra baseball. The winner might get the number one spot, or
And then they could play in either Tampa Bay or Sacramento because those stadiums are terrible. Ta-da!
yeah,
Boom!
yeah. I said we gonna put if you're gonna be terrible, we're gonna put you where it's terrible at.
And then you send Max Kellerman to cover it.
Give him something to do. Where's Peter Gammons and Carl Ravish? So he still has a job. Buster Olney, where's he at?
Send Max. Max is
or
getting paid to be at home. So
or they could have it in San Antonio and have Charles Barkley call the coverage.
Ratings drop. I'm down here in San Antonio with these big old women down here,
churros,
man.
eating the churros.
Hey, I'm down here looking for churros and big old women. Charles, what do you think about the game? All 4 teams are terrible, I'm telling you. With that being said, it's been another episode of the Sports Bros podcast. As always, thank you for watching and listening. If you like what you see, you like what you hear, rate, review, subscribe, share it with a friend, and follow us on all our social media platforms. Listen, pinned in the chat box below. Anything to say before we get the hell up out here, fellas, and enjoy the somewhat nice weather?
Shout out to Mary Lou Retton. From a box of Wheaties to a box of Barefoot Riesling.
I
gotta go.
Yeah,
I gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm sinking us on this episode.
I go ahead and get Scotty D out of here so I can say some serious stuff.
Be Live. Oh my God. Go ahead, Be Live.
Just you see the liver bird on my shirt. Thoughts and prayers to all the people that were injured in the Liverpool Premier League championship parade. Some deranged fan freaking drove into the crowd.
What's wrong with y'all, man? For real.
Yeah. So from what I hear, there was only 2 that were seriously injured. So I haven't heard of anybody any deaths. So I'm very thankful for that. But prayers goes out to Merseyside, to Anfield, to Liverpool. They're 2024-2025 Premier League champions. You'll never walk alone. And I'm out.
And in closing, do something nice for yourself. If you can do something nice for someone else, they're greatly appreciate it. Now more than ever, be a blessing, not a burden. Thank you for watching and listening. Your favorite sports podcast, the Sports Bros Podcast. Be Live, take us home.
Yes, sir.
Hey, love each other. Take care. Enjoy yourselves.